idea of education is to learn, improve our knowledge, improve our horizons, and also not only accumulate knowledge, but also to learn how to apply knowledge in different circumstances. You could say that's the wisdom. When you talk about education, the way the formal education goes, how do we acquire knowledge, and what is the whole idea of education? And of course we have to study, of course we have to understand the different areas of knowledge, and these different areas of knowledge are conceptualized as science or social studies or languages or commerce or whatever it is. So when we keep doing that, at some point we need to learn how much have we learnt, how much do we know, how much have we understood, and then how do we do that. And the best way to do that is, and that is why the whole idea of examinations is there. Certain amount of anxiety is very much part of life, and in fact the anxiety when it is within limits, it helps us to do a self assessment. Oh, I don't know much about this, so then I get a little scared. Oh, I need to learn more about this. So what I do is I make more efforts, I become motivated to learn. I use different methods to learn and study and understand and build my knowledge in that area. So little bit of anxiety is very much helpful, but when the anxiety becomes too much, it can be actually very paralyzing. Instead of focusing on studies, a lot of anxiogenic thoughts or anxiety related thoughts keep on bothering us and distract our mind away from our focus, which is studying. Like for instance, am I able to understand what I am going to study? Will these questions that I am studying, will these things that I am studying, will they come in the examination? And if they come in the examination, will they be able to do justice to that exam, that question? Is it really important? Will it come in the examination or not? And suppose I go to the examination hall, I have studied and my mind goes blank and I can't remember anything. What will happen? Then suppose I do very badly in the examination, what will happen to my future? These are anxiogenic thoughts or anxiety related thoughts which sometimes become very excessive. The mental energy all goes towards this anxiety and it is gone away from the basic task, which is studying. So the quality of our studies comes down, then the anxiety builds up again, and that again intervenes with the process of studying. Really not true. The examinations only give a cross-sectional view of how much you know, and then we have a long life ahead. We can always get a feedback of how much we have learned, how much we don't know, and then there is always time to improve on ourselves, trying to see what aspects of education suits me best, what area is my favorite, and what are my strengths. And so this kind of a thing will help us to always grow further. Marks and ranks do not determine the future of a person. That's not true. Memory is the last part, and the first step is getting one's mind focused on what I need to learn, then trying out different methods to study and understand, and then know that yes, I have understood that, then rehearse that. Such a kind of a rehearsal will help us build it into long-term memories. Memory, if you look at the conversion of short-term memories into long-term memories, only occurs with understanding. So there are two things that convert a short-term memory. That is, I sit, I study, and then I sit and read. For instance, I have not really understood, and then I can immediately say whatever the answers are, but I have not really understood, and then I am very happy, and then let's say a day later I try to recollect what I have read, it's all washed out. So nothing is there. So what we have understood, if we go on revisiting it and then recollecting it, reflecting upon it, and then refresh it and rehearse it and do some revision, then that is likely to go on to long term memory. That is simply not true. Beyond a point of such kind of push actually is counterproductive. If a child is pushed, no, you should get first rank, you should get these many marks, you should get enough marks to get into medicine, and I want you to go to medicine. These kind of the parents many a times do it with all good intentions in their mind, but it's really can be a big burden for the child, big source of stress. Many of these children, many of the students internalize these parental expectations. It becomes their own. They come to hold on to very unrealistic kind of expectations about themselves, and that becomes a big pressure source of stress, and then it converts itself into anxiety. The anxiety interferes with the studies. In fact, the child may end up doing poorly, more than otherwise the child would have done. That is also not true. There is something called the quality of our studies, and secondly the quantity of our studies. You just do some quality reading for half an hour and then say I have understood everything and now I can face the examination. That is overconfidence. And then you simply keep on reading for hours together without understanding, 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, then without understanding, it will not stay in the mind. Students who take the examination, when the examinations are round the corner, they require a lot of rest, relaxation and recreation. Also they require good amount of sleep. There is something called brain fatigue or frontal lobe fatigue. The frontal lobes of the brain are very active when we are learning, and if you do it enough, then the frontal lobes discharge too much, or they have become work too much, they get exhausted. It has been shown that sleep is not a very passive state of consciousness. Sleep is a time when memories get consolidated. So whatever that we have learnt, whatever that we have memorized, if we want that to stay in our mind, we need to sleep well.